All right, it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Friday feature time. 21st Century Distributing. I'm Mark Garajanian. Welcome to today's edition of the Friday feature. We have Stewart Filmscreen here. We just picked up Stewart. Gosh, it's been about a month now, month and a half. Pairs up perfectly with Epson, who we just picked up about a month ago. We also have JVC, Optima, Sony. So we have the perfect screen option to fit your needs for pretty much any application. We have Adrian Silva here with Stewart, who's going to kind of go into the company, the different screen materials, different options for you to fit your various applications for your projection projects. As always, this is being recorded. We'll be on our website, on our virtual conference center. If you go to the Stewart vendor page on our website, you'll be able to see all the screens that we stock from Stewart. So make sure you check that out. So this will be a quick hitting 30-minute overview of Stewart. Hopefully this is going to be beneficial for you guys. And if you want to ask a question, go ahead and put it in the Q&A there. We'll go ahead and get your questions answered, and we're going to be doing a giveaway prize pack for somebody who asks a question. So go ahead and ask your questions, and we'll get a lucky participant a prize. What's up, Adrian? How you doing?
Hey, I'm well. How are you? Thank you, Mark. Thanks, Sean. 21st. Excited to be here. I'm on one screen right now, so just let me know if there are any questions. I'm gonna full screen the slides here.
Yep.
Go ahead. Get going on that.
Awesome. We got your back.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna. Okay. So again, thanks. Excited to be here. Appreciate you guys partnering with us on the brand, and looking forward to helping your customers be successful in the two-piece projection world. Okay, so I'm going to just go over a little bit of the origin story of Stewart Filmscreen. Did that slide change for you all? You guys, you see a bunch of suits? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Stewart Filmscreen was founded in 1947. A little background. So I like to say that since Stewart has been manufacturing projection systems since 1947, they've kind of made all the mistakes under the sun, and they kind of know what to do and what not to do, having all this experience. So I like to point out that we're good for your line card, as an integrator. That trusty mallet that's in the toolbox, that would be us. Okay. So the gentleman here in the suits on the left, that's the Stewart family. The guy sitting down, that's Roy Stewart. And the company's based in Los Angeles, California, in a city called Torrance. And it's fun fact. So back in the 40s, the Stewart family is what you see there. They threw a party or a mixer in Hollywood and invited all of the Hollywood executives, locally there in LA, and to this party, and Walt Disney attended the party and started talking with Roy. Next thing you know, Roy has designed and built like 3 machines that would allow him to manufacture vinyl, projection screen material, 90 feet wide by 40 feet high. Walt Disney was on the hunt for a local projection screen supplier. So Walt Disney was, Stewart's customer for a long time. And then I call it the snowball effect. So today, we're operating on a full division of a team that calls on, and, these brands here that we kind of work with every day, whether we know it or not, just in our digital world, airplanes, etc. So, I like to, I'm a little nosy at Stewart. I like to know, where the POs are coming from. I'm obviously in sales, and I took a look at like just our customer base on the commercial side. And it turns out all of these brands here that you see, we take purchase orders from them consistently throughout the year. So with that said, I want you to know that we're building projection systems for these brands here, and the same technology that we put into making a screen for Google or for Netflix or a flight simulator for Boeing, is the same type of quality that we put into the home theater division over at Stewart Filmscreen. Our defect rate is about 1.5% of global sales. So we're a global company. We serve many markets. Residential is a huge market for us. Definitely in the top two markets, if you want to do the math there. So I like to point this out, not to brag and say, hey, these are our customers, but to let you know that, these customers here are demanding as far as quality. And it's no different when we're making a screen for, your home theater or for the school, etc. So just heads up on that. And then just a couple bullet points. I'm going to go down, and I'm watching the time mark, so I'll make sure that we don't go over. Yeah. Everything's designed and manufactured in Los Angeles. As I mentioned, we have machines. We call them the Matrix, and that's how we manufacture our calendar vinyl. You may ask, well, why do you manufacture your projection material? Why wouldn't you source it? And I'm going back to these slides. So the projectors that are used for these companies here are definitely the top grade commercial movie studio, flight simulation, those types of products. The brands that you mentioned earlier, Mark, that you guys use, some of those brands we partner with on this side of town in simulation and in the movie studios. So we have to manufacture the screen material to a certain spec, right? They require a specific specification. So we have to manufacture it ourselves. It's kind of like Coca-Cola, right? They're manufacturing their soda to be a specific taste that us soda drinkers are used to. I wish I drank less soda, but when I do crack open a Coca-Cola, I know what it's gonna taste like, and I expect it, and I probably would be able to tell if it were different. Same thing with the projection material and those customers that I showed you. Now, having full control of our inventory and manufacturing in the USA, we're able to keep the defects like super low. So just on a global level, as I mentioned earlier, we're about 1.5% of sales. And that includes like any ship damages, or we forgot to put a remote control into the screen. And I mean, I say that and you're probably like, well, do they forget to put things? We're human, right? We've got over 75 employees. A lot of it's production. We're not completely perfect, but we strive to be. So just know that. And by the way, me saying, hey, if we forgot to put a remote control in the box for an electric screen, fear not, we always include like a 12-volt trigger or a keypad. So either way, your screen's going to be able to operate. Fixed frame started about $2,000 retail, and our electric screens started about $3,000 retail. And then we have models in stock. We have models in stock, but so does 21st Century. So we're not going to like compete there. We just have a different type of product that's in stock versus like 21st has products that are in stock that's going to support the territory there, or the territories that they sell in. And I'll dive into that a little bit later today. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly it's
Yep,
fixed screens that we're stocking. I think anything that's electric, ALR type, we probably will have to special order those.
That's correct. So you guys do have fixed frames in stock, and just the general white and gray material, which is being sold every day in the marketplace. So it's a good select of items that you guys have. And then what we have, because we've been more on the premium side, so when our customers come to us in the residential space, they're looking for like specific material, which is like our premium Studio Tech 130 or like the Firehawk G5, which is an ALR fabric, Mark. Those we have enough data to support like, okay, let's put these on the shelf, and we're shipping them every single day. So if let's say you did need an ALR fabric and you need it yesterday, you just put the PO with 21st Century, and when I get the PO, if I get it by like 3:00 Eastern time, I'm putting it on a truck, shipping it out to 21st Century next business day. So that's kind of how fast we work. We understand that you guys are on the move and you have jobs to close out, so we want to support you there. And then this is the team here. This is sales and technical support. So I want you to look down to the gentleman in the third row with the beard. His name is Justin Craig. He lives in Ohio, so he operates on Eastern time. So he's like your inside sales representative, questions, concerns, anything you need for quotes and stuff like that. Justin can help, as well as 21st Century. And then this is the whole team. So starting from the top, that's July Yepes up there, covers the West Coast. You've got Harry covering the middle, and then at the bottom there, that's Andrew Cox. I hope you never have to use him, but he's our technical support manager. That's his direct cell phone. So if questions, concerns, I mean, I'll send this to you, Mark, that way you can forward to everybody. But like, this is our team, and I point this out because I want you to know we have people at Stewart Filmscreen at their desks, 5 days a week, ready to help. We sleep, eat, breathe, projection. And I say this with the utmost respect. We're a bunch of projector nerds at the office, so we kind of have fun with it. So that's the team there. Let me keep going. And then, we have a portal that we don't need to dive into today, but it's just a design tool that we give access to 21st Century, where they can customize screens. I don't think I said it earlier, but like our capacity for screens right now is we can build a 90-foot wide fixed frame, and then a 45-foot wide motorized screen, just to kind of give you an idea of like what our capacity is and who we are. So we're not only home theaters. So if you've got like a job that requires a super large screen, we're the people that generally are called on to build those screens. It's kind of a fun niche for us. Okay, so items in stock at 21st Century. We have something called the Balon Edge. Okay, what's the big deal, Adrian? You've got a thin border screen, 1/2-inch border all the way around. Everybody's got one. I like our model, and I'm being a little biased because I work for the company. I've been here 6 years. I used to work for a different screen company for about 10 years prior to this. And I've seen all of the different edge-free or thin border screens under the sun. And unless somebody showed me different, I have to say that Stewart Filmscreen is going to be the easiest to assemble. And that's what we're about. When we design something, we kind of just listen to the market, and then we talk to our dealers, and then we talk to the installers, the guys actually unboxing these and assembling them and putting them on the wall. And we say, how can we save you time? What matters to you and it's like, well, the ease of assembly, right? So we have something called a snap system, which you can see here in the bottom left. And yeah, everybody's got one, but like we just feel that ours is superior to the market. Because we're taking feedback from the customer, which is the integrator, and then we're putting it into play. So 120-inch, 135-inch in stock. The material wraps around from the front and snaps in the back. There's an LED rail if you want to use like an LED kit, and then the border just kind of snaps on, and you tighten it with hex bolts. That's it. It's super easy. I want to say like a 135-inch diagonal is probably going to take like a seasoned integrator, somebody who's been building screens, probably like 30 minutes. It's probably going to take you a little longer to get it on the wall, but it's just super fast to assemble. So that's in stock at 21st Century, and then we'll kind of go over the models after. And then we have something called Wall Screen Deluxe, which is a 3¼ inch border. You have the 120-inch in stock. And this is even easier than the Balon Edge. It's basically you're just going to connect the four corners, snap the material on, hang it, bang it, you're done. So we've been traveling around with like a 180-inch screen. Screens are getting bigger and just showing off like the big picture models with like the Epsons and the JVCs as you mentioned, Mark. An 180-inch. And I'm not a seasoned installer, by the way, but I've been assembling screens for a while. I can do it like in 30 minutes. It's just easy. So like a 120-inch, you can literally build that, and it's just fast. So that's what we're about. We're about quality. ease of assembly, and like our screen materials kind of just like the cherry on top, because remember, we're building that screen material like for the movie studios. It's on a bigger scale though, right? The screens are obviously super large. And then the frames are a little different, but like when it comes to the residential space, we're not too worried about the screen material. It's going to work. We know that. It's more of like, how can we make these systems easier for our customers, for our integrators to pop them out of the box, um, connect the frame, snap the material, and done. Like I come from like I said, a different screen company which is pretty popular in the market, and their product does take a long time to assemble. So I've brought over a lot of relationships, and I'm showing my integrators like how they're saving time. Like, okay, the margins may be a little different, but like, do you want to spend 4 hours at the customer's house? I mean, the last thing you want to do is, go to 21st and pick up all your product, um, and then spend so much time on the screen, right? And like maybe you told the customer, "Hey, I'll be there Friday morning, and we'll close out the job by 5 p.m." I'm just creating a scenario like, okay, all right, well, let's not spend a lot of time on the screen, right? The screen should be like easy. You should be focused on something else more important, and that's what we're about: ease of assembly on these two models, and that's why 21st has them in stock. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. The material that you have in stock is our I'm going to call it general white material. So it's called Neve. It's a 1.1 gain. For the models that you guys have in stock, it pairs beautifully. We looked at what you guys are stocking. We're like, okay, let's make this suggestion. So like if you really want to get in the weeds of it and you did some math, you can actually hit HDR with this product here. But in stock at 21st, and works perfect for like a dedicated space. So again, white material, 1.1 gain, Green Guard certified, safe for the home. That's what we're all about. Ease of assembly on the white Neve material. And then we've got our high contrast gray, which is Tiburon G5. Okay. Anytime you like with us, whenever you see like a G and then followed by like a number, that means we're on our different generation. So this is the 5th generation. It's like, well, Stewart, why do you have so many generations? So remember, we make our own screen material, and with that said, we have Robert, who's our chemist and plant manager, and whenever like new projectors come out, we get to see them kind of before they hit the market, and then we test them on all of our screen material. And then if we need to make like some kind of change based off the new technology from the projector manufacturer, we do that. Like we can do that. Like we can make a decision like in a day. Like we get the product in, we shoot on it. It's like, okay, let's make a decision. We're done. We're rolling out like a new generation, maybe in the next 30 days. So you actually have the new Tiburon G5 in stock. Rejects a little bit of ambient light. Perfect for ultra short throw projectors too. If you play in that space, and enhances like black levels. So that's the value of Tiburon. I'm going to keep going. And then we've got our woven material, which is an acoustic sound transparent, 0.7 gain. So, we definitely have acoustic options as well. And by the way, the two materials that I just talked about, Neve and Tiburon, we can perforate those for you. So it'd be a special order. Okay. And then just the models that are in stock. Okay, so you can see a mix of like 120s, 135s, and 150s. This is the bulk of the items that are in stock with the model numbers, and then there's retail right there for these products. Okay, and then like I said, Mark, I'll send this to you. And then these are our models that are in stock. So we have some fixed frames, and then we have some electric screens, as I mentioned earlier, in a white material called Studio Tech 130. And then our ALR fabric, Firehawk G5. And, we don't have time to dive into the weeds of those, but just know it's a premium white and then an ambient light rejecting fabric. All right. And then just some other models that you have access to through 21st Century. We're all about the electric drop down screen game. Remember, our defect rate is super low, about 1.5% of global sales. I've got some integrators today that are like, hey, I don't even want to sell electric screens anymore just because the brands I'm using are not cutting it. Like I just felt so bad. I just said, look, give us a shot. We do it right. I want you all to know, it doesn't matter what size screen it is, fixed or electric, before we even put it inside of a box and ship it out, we're operating it. Example, on a fixed frame, we're building that frame, we're snapping the material on, we're making sure it fits, making adjustments, then we unassemble it and then put it in the box and ship it out. Like we do that for every screen. Doesn't matter. Same thing on the electrics. We're building them, and then we're hanging them and we're operating them, and then we box them up and ship them out. That goes for everything. That's what we do. That's kind of like we want to check it. And why do we do that? Because we don't want it back. Yeah, we don't have stacks of screens ready to go, on the custom side. So we want to build it, ship it, and then when we talk to you again, it's because there's a new project, or you want to tell us if we did a good job or not. That's basically it. So this is a surface mount drop down. We can go up to about 200-inch diagonal in this case. The fun part about this is we can customize the case color as long as it's water-based paint, any color. So if you got a pretty cool project, and they want to customize that case color, then you can go ahead and request that. And this is called the Luxus, and we've got a 12-volt trigger, dry contact, the remote, etc. Remember that comment I made earlier about forgetting a remote? Even if we did, the screen's still operational because there's a 12-volt trigger, dry contact, and also comes with like a keypad, like an up, down button keypad. So that's Luxus. And then we have this new outdoor screen, which is also a drop down. It's called RS1. It's got a smaller housing, about 5.5 by 5.5. Largest size we can do with this case is about a 180 diagonal for like $4,600 retail. That's a really good deal. And there's several ways to install this. We've got about 5 fabrics that are compatible with outdoor. Has a 2-year warranty. So that's new to us. Generally, our product's about a 1 year, but we want the market to trust us. So we're like, hey, let's put a 2-year warranty on our outdoor screen and see how it goes. This can also be used in indoor as well, and we sell lots of these. This is a fun product for us.
What does the warranty cover? I mean, if it's outdoor, I mean, obviously there's going to be some wear and tear on the screen. Is that just like the motor?
Yeah, so it would cover, like, I would say everything, as long as we're I'm not doing like let's say as long as I'm not doing like a special material. So anything that's listed here is covered under like a 2-year warranty. Now, like if it's just being rained on, that might not be covered. So I mean, we can like dive into it, but for the most part, it's going to be covered. But we do tell our dealers that are buying it, like if there's going to be some snow, or if it's going to be like completely rained on, that might not get covered. But if it's under a patio and stuff like that, and it gets damaged, we'll cover it.
Gotcha.
Hopefully that helps. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. I don't think we're good on time. And then lastly is our in-ceiling model. I don't need to dive into it, but basically what I want to show you guys is we have a mix of fixed frames, thick border, thin border. We have surface mount electric screens. One of them is outdoor rated. And then we have an in-ceiling screen. So you can grab all that through 21st Century. And again, there's many products out there in the projection screen world. Why should I use Stewart? Again, I like to say we're good for the toolbox. We're good business partners. We care about your business. Without you all, we don't exist. So just want to kind of leave that there, and thank you. And then I can just answer any questions. Hopefully some of you have some.
I have a couple here. Roger has a good one, and I think you may have covered it too. For short throw projectors, the two versions we have in stock you could use for UST, correct?
Yeah. So the Tiburon, anything with Tiburon on it, you could use for an ultra short throw projector. And then if you needed something that's going to reject more ambient light, we have a product called Blackhawk UST, which is not in stock at 21st, but we have some stock of it. Like we can ship it out next business day. So we do have a lot of customers using the Tiburon, but if it's a high ambient light environment, you want to look at Blackhawk.
Blackhawk, okay. Let's go with two. Michael asks, what role does screen size play in pixel density and perceived resolution with 4K and 8K projectors?
Oh, is that here? I think I need to read that. Let me just go to let me see. That's a good question. Oh, where are they at?
I got it right here. It's, you know anything about just between 4K and 8K projectors?
Can you read that one more time? Sorry, or say that to me one more time. Sorry.
Screen size play in pixel density and perceived resolution with 4K and 8K projectors?
Okay. Screen size. I don't know if okay, that's a good question. Let me see how I can answer that. That's so I would say the screen size really doesn't matter. I think it matters more like screen size when it comes to like HDR. So if you want to hit like HDR, we really need to look at like the lumen output of the projector and the screen size, because you can have like a super big screen and then our lumen output is not as high and we might not hit the HDR. I don't think that pixel density is going to matter when it comes to screen size. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But Mark, if you could email me that question, then
sure.
I want to get like a good answer for that, because we've got people that'll go down the rabbit hole for us and give us a good answer.
And then how about the last one here for like commercial applications? I know it's probably going to be very bright in most commercial applications. Recommended screens for those?
For commercial? Oh yeah, absolutely. So like as far as screen fabrics, remember we can go super big on the systems. And as far as screen fabrics, it really depends. So like any of the products I showed you today, you can use them in the commercial space, and they're used in the commercial space.
Projector, right? With a high lumen output projector.
Yeah, again, it depends. Like I'll give you an example. Like so we see some outputs in like 10. Last night I was at a meeting where they were going to use like a 16,000 lumen projector, and then the just based off the application, we're actually going to go with a white material on that. We don't need an ALR because there's so much power coming from that projector. So it really just depends on the projector lumens. But like I said, we have, you saw my team there. So if there's a project where you're like, hey, I've got a 20,000 lumen projector, we just get you on with Justin. I mean, he's a guru when it comes to commercial, and then we can kind of offer you a solution. Or you may say, you know what, I've only got a 5,000 lumen projector. There's like a bunch of ambient light. Well, let's do some math and let's figure out which ambient light rejecting material would be compatible with that application. So yeah, we love these questions, and we can help design those rooms for you so you guys look successful out there.
Well, Adrian, I appreciate it, man. Michael, we're going to get you a prize pack. I appreciate you joining us today. Adrian, really appreciate it. Like he was saying, we have these screens in stock. We have the projectors in stock. We just sent an email out today about the complete offering, like what Adrian just covered from Stewart. So let us help you with your next project for your projection applications. Really appreciate your time here, Adrian. Next week we have Sonance Blaze, so make sure you join us for that. And we'll see everybody next week. Hope everybody has a great weekend. If your kids are on spring break, happy spring break. Hopefully you aren't being dragged down by your kids all weekend, all week.
Thanks, everyone. See ya. Have a good weekend. Happy Easter.
Bye. Happy Easter, yes.